Let's fly the first ever Airbus A350 from Swiss International Airlines. Welcome to Zurich Airport, welcome to Markus Travels. I'm excited for this flight. We are flying business class in the brand new Swiss Senses cabin on today, the first day of commercial operations of the A350 with Swiss. Departure is going to be from Bravo 05. It's going to be a bus gate, so no great views of the aircraft. Hopefully we can change that when we land in Malaga. And a great view we will get after landing. We already had a bit of excitement on this trip. As the aircraft was coming in for landing from Palma de Mallorca, it performed a go-around. I don't know if that was a normal go-around or if this was planned for a show, for taking some photos and videos of this beautiful aircraft in this Wanderlust livery. Me, though, being an idiot, forgot to press record, so I only have the normal landing of the Hotel Bravo India Foxtrot Alpha, the first A350 of Swiss. Now we're chilling out at the bus gate area. The crew already announced that the boarding will be delayed, and that's not surprising because the arrival of the aircraft was actually almost an hour late already coming in. Alright, it's time to board at gate Bravo 05 there behind me. I paid for this trip myself, and I got no special treatment from Swiss. They didn't even know I was going to make a video. That way you get an authentic and non-sponsored travel review. Welcome to my channel, Markus Travels. We'll talk more about the price and the value for money at the end of the video. Welcome aboard the Swiss A350 in business class on the first day of operations. My seat today will be a 7 Alpha. Swiss calls this type specifically a privacy seat. There are a few different types of seats in the new business class cabin. On the seat selection screen, you can learn more about each type. All business class seats convert into a fully flat bed. In addition, all of them have direct aisle access, which has not been the case on Swiss in the past. I find the muted color palette of the seat quite elegant and appealing. The touch of wood on the side table feels natural and harmonious. On the side there, we have a couple of storage cubbies and a tablet with seat controls and entertainment. You can also control select seat functions with the buttons on the armrest, and a third place you can control the seat is on the monitor in front. We'll have a look at all of that in the full tour after takeoff. At this point, when we're boarding a wide-body aircraft, you might expect Swiss to serve pre-departure drinks. But that did not happen on this flight. I will leave my comments about that to the big bucket of service issues at the end of the video. For now, I want to focus on the new cabin product. As part of this refresh, Swiss has updated their safety video, and I love it. They used to have the most generic safety video you've ever seen, with no Swiss identity at all. Now, Swiss is going the same route as Air Canada and Icelandair, where the procedures are showcased in the beautiful Swiss nature. This is perfect. The new video shows that the Swiss Senses concept is not only about the new seat. The 3-point seatbelt is attached. We are ready for takeoff. Departure was about 20 minutes late, which on the one hand is quite impressive as the arrival just before was about an hour delayed. So they did make up some time. When we were waiting in the bus, they said that there will be a small delay before we can board because they need to finish cleaning the aircraft. That's actually not exactly what they said. What they said specifically was that there will be a 4-minute delay. In the end, it was more like 15. That Swiss precision failed us on this one. Overall, they could have managed the boarding in the rain a bit better. Many of us wanted to wait in the bus until the air stairs had cleared and were empty of people. But instead, the bus drivers insisted that we leave the buses because they had to go somewhere else. For a special flight like this, Swiss could have done more to enhance the experience. That was a smooth takeoff from Zurich Airport, and we are now en route to Malaga. I'm getting the impression that they are operating this as a European flight, which it of course is. For example, there were no pre-departure beverages, there are no headphones, I don't see any amenity kits. So I'm assuming that they're not treating this as a long-haul flight yet, which of course it isn't. It is a European flight. But if they want to train and practice the long-haul operations, which will commence next month, I was kind of thinking that they would include those elements of the service. But let's see how the flight progresses. We've only been in the air for 5 minutes. Whether or not that extra 4 minutes of cleaning was successful, we will see right now. Let's do a full seat tour. After that, we'll check out the meal, the lavatory, the entertainment system, and the disappointing service on this flight. Touring the seat from left to right, first I have the literature pocket. Then there's a locker with a bottle of water. That locker can be closed like so. But what's not so easy is to open the locker again. I had to use a lot of force to open it. The door got weirdly stuck. Inside the locker there is a hook. I guess it would be for the headphones, but I'm not sure. There's 2 reasons. Firstly, we didn't get any headphones on this flight. And secondly, there is a hook in the next cubby too. Below the locker, we have power outlets of different kinds. There's a USB-A port, a universal power outlet, and a USB-C port. Next, we have the tablet. It can be removed from the wall, but I'm not sure why you would. This thing is very heavy. Way heavier than a normal tablet. Plus, it's also tethered to the wall. I'll tell you what it can do and then one thing it cannot do. There are 3 main functions on the tablet. From best to worst, they are seat controls, light controls, and entertainment. The absolute best thing about the seat controls is something I've never experienced before. The seat temperature adjustment. I thought for sure this was a gimmick, but when you put it on cold and it blows cold air around the seat, this was perfect. I loved it. If you're getting value from the video, please hit the like button. Thank you for doing that. The left portion of the seat controls do what you'd expect. You can set the seat in different preset positions. But you have to hold down the button until the seat reaches its final point. I wish you could double tap or something so it just completes the motion by itself. There was also no indication when the mechanism has reached its final position. That means you didn't necessarily know when you could let go of the button. The cushion firmness adjustment on the right-hand side, I don't think it actually adjusts the cushion at all. To me, it felt like it moved the lumbar support forward and backwards only. I don't think this seat has one of those old inflatable cushions. That was always pointless. The equally pointless massage function is also nowhere to be seen, so these are good developments. Then we have the light controls. The overhead light works. It switches on both of the overhead lights. The mood light control, on the other hand, did not work. This surprised me on a brand new aircraft. You can use the tablet as a screen for the entertainment system. But with the tablet being so heavy, why would you? This is uncomfortable. You might think that you can use it as a remote for the main screen. I certainly did. But if it was possible, I could not figure out how to do it. Above the tablet, there is another innovative feature. On the air vent, you can set the airflow in 3 different steps. Good on Swiss for installing individual air vents on these seats. You can also adjust the angle of the vent. Next to the air vent, there is also an adjustable reading light. Here's a quick look at the privacy in seat 7 Alpha. On this side, I only have the aisle, and that's the end of the cabin here, so we're at the bulkhead. And on this side, I just have the window. So privacy here is brilliant. On the right-hand side of the console, there is a storage cubby. I guess it's for the non-existent noise-cancelling headphones. I don't see what else you could put in there. The bottom of it does not have any kind of lip or edge that would prevent things from sliding out of there. It is certainly not a great place to store a laptop. The cubby below, on the other hand, is a pretty good place to store a laptop or a small bag. The lid opens like so and locks into place. There is a light in there too, which is a good idea. An even better idea would have been to make the inside of the cubby a brighter color, like they do on the inside of bags, so you can see things easily. There is no storage by your feet in this business class seat. We'll check out what's in front on the big entertainment screen after the meal. You may have already noticed a few worrying things in this seat tour. Remember that this is a brand new aircraft on its first day of operations. Somehow it is already worn and torn in a few places. Above the literature pocket, the wallpaper is torn. There is a big scratch on the side of the lamp, and the wall in front is also scratched, though it was very difficult to focus my camera on it. Add to this the non-working lamp and the meal we're about to experience, and there are more than a few negatives in this inaugural flight experience. But first, there is one aspect of the dining experience that is a huge positive, and that's the table. It opens out from in front of you. You pull out the table, and then it even extends to almost double the size. The table is very sturdy. You can easily fit both a laptop and a meal tray on the table at the same time. Plus, you also have the side table too. So table space is not an issue in this seat. You can adjust the position of the table back and forth. This means that you can get out of the seat even when the table is deployed, which is excellent. Together with the seat cooling, I think this table is the strongest feature of this Swiss Senses seat. The business class fare includes food and drink with and without alcohol. On this flight, the meal service had two parts. First, we got a bag of rosemary mini sticks and a drinks service. I asked the flight attendant for a drinks recommendation, and he suggested champagne for this special occasion. I think some champagne is in order. Cheers. Do note that this was after takeoff. There were no pre-departure drinks. For the meal, there were two choices, either a beef stew or a vegetarian option. I'm not exactly sure what they were because there were no printed menus. I picked the beef. It was served on a single tray with a side salad with a vinaigrette, a chocolate mousse dessert, and a cheese plate. For what it was, this was a yummy meal. The beef stew was rich and well seasoned. The highlight was the thing that came on the side of the chocolate mousse cake. It was a kind of chutney with chunky pear, I think. A menu card would have helped me identify it correctly. Indeed, they did treat this as a European flight. For the meal, that meant that the entire meal was served on one tray. There were 4 courses, but only one set of cutlery. Another indication that this is a European flight on this wide-body A350 is that there's no pillow, there's no mattress topper, there's no blanket. Nothing like that you would expect on a long-haul flight. If this had been a long-haul flight, I believe and hope that Swiss would have provided printed menus, pre-departure drinks, and a multi-course dining service. The fact that they did not is a huge missed opportunity. I know that other passengers were also disappointed with the service. This is a flight scheduled for almost 3 hours. There would have been time for a complete service. There is one last complaint I have here. The package of cutlery was placed the wrong way. The logo is upside down. This lack of attention to detail shows that even With this fancy new aircraft, Swiss International Airlines is not playing in the big leagues when it comes to service. Now let's check out the business class seat in bed mode. It goes fully flat using the controls either on the tablet or on the main screen or on the armrest. My impression was that the mechanism stopped at around 80% of the way to fully flat. To move it the last bit, I had to press the bed button once again. There's two things that I really like about the bed. One is the engraved logo on the headrest. The second is the leather flap that protects the metal tab of the seatbelt. And now for the three things I did not like. See how the fabric is completely wrinkled in the bottom part of the bed. It looks like the fabric is the wrong size. Perhaps more importantly, the room for your feet in the footwell is tiny. In this shot, I am moving my feet up and down as much as they will go. There's only a couple of centimeters clearance. Finally, Swiss did not provide any bedding. No pillow, no mattress topper, no blanket. Another huge missed opportunity to impress on the first flight to Malaga. There is one thing I do like about the seat controls. In addition to the classic presets like upright, relax, and sleep mode, they have one preset called dining. It pushes the seat a bit more forward and upright for a more comfortable eating position. The entertainment system is split between the screen in front and the tablet on the side. The content is pretty much the same on both. There are all the usual suspects: movies, TV shows, audiobooks, podcasts, a moving map, really a lot of different media. For me, the highlight was the 5 external cameras. You can choose between forward, down, tail, left, and right. For the lavatory tour, I apologize for the flickering light. The highlights include the pedal-operated bin and the magnifying mirror. I also like the branded amenities: face cream, face spray, and lotion. In addition, the toilet seat cover actually looks like a real seat. This is nice. The lowlights, as it were, are the weird positioning of the flush button, which is kind of behind the tissue box. And that tissue box was empty. And also the paper towels under the mirror were really difficult to get out. We have started our descent into Malaga. Certainly, this A350 is a great leap forward for Swiss, but there are plenty of things that still need to be improved for this to be a world-class business class product. When it comes to service on board, it was clear that the crew was a bit nervous. One of them even said so. The launch of a new aircraft type is a big deal for any airline. I would be nervous too. Just to give you one example, one crew member talked to me during the safety video, which is usually not done. Also, the crew was not so attentive in picking up trash from my table, even though they passed by with meals and drink service. Service on Swiss International Airline just is not world class. The crew could really benefit from better training. When I boarded, one of the crew members almost insisted that I had pre-ordered a meal. I had not. But it took a few more tries than I would have expected until she was convinced. But the biggest problem with the service on this flight is that they treated it as an intra-European short-haul flight. That means that there was no pre-departure drink, no headphones, no printed menus, no hot towels, no multi-course dining service, no pre-landing meal, no mattress topper, no pillow, and no blanket. This is even more surprising with the following context. On the way back, I flew Lufthansa in business class, also a flight that lasts less than 3 hours. On that Lufthansa flight, they did have hot towels and printed menus. And their meal included an actual starter instead of this tiny side salad I got on Swiss. If the point for Swiss of flying the A350 on these European routes was to train the Swiss crew, and make them familiar with the aircraft, I don't understand why they didn't go with the full long-haul service. I would have loved to experience the full A350 product on this flight, but that's not what I got. I will give you my recommendation in just a moment. If you got massive value from the video so far, there's many things that you can do to support my channel, Markus Travels. For example, you can book me as a speaker. My keynote, Leadership Lessons from the Comedy Club, would be a great addition to any conference, team meeting, or holiday event. Check out the link in the description below or go to markuspresents.com. Now let's talk about the price and the value for money. My itinerary was Basel to Zurich by train, then Zurich to Malaga on the A350, then I flew back via Frankfurt on Lufthansa and Air Dolomiti. All of this was booked in business class. The total price I paid for this round trip was 1,034 Swiss francs, which is around $1,300 US. This was a great and affordable way to try the new Swiss business class seat. I am very much looking forward to flying it when the A350 is in long-haul operations. It is a great seat, and it's certainly a step in the right direction for Swiss. I am happy I was able to fly it on the first day of passenger operations. This was a memorable experience. My favorite aspect of flying Swiss business class is the arrival lounge at Zurich Airport. Click or tap the screen right here to learn more about that unique lounge in my last Swiss business class review. Thank you very much for watching Markus Travels, and I will see you in the next video.